Lisa had always loved cats. Ever since she was a little girl growing up in a sleepy town in the United Kingdom, she had found solace in their soft fur, the way they purred when content, and their complete disregard for societal expectations. As the years passed, Lisa's love for cats grew into something more than a passion. It became her entire life. By the time she reached 40, Lisa's modest home had transformed into a feline paradise. Cats lounged on every available surface, winding their way around furniture, knocking over cups of tea, and meowing at her with endless demands. Lisa didn't mind. After all, she had never married, nor had she had children, and while some might have felt lonely, she was perfectly content with her whiskered companions. The townspeople, however, pitied her. They saw Lisa as the tragic figure of a woman left behind by time, swallowed up by her devotion to her furry friends. Yet they still visited her now and then, partly out of kindness, partly for the tea, but mostly for the chance to play with the cats. But everything changed when Lisa discovered the world of furries. One evening, deep in the depths of an internet rabbit hole, Lisa stumbled upon a forum where people dressed as animals, not just for fun, but as a way of life. Lisa had always felt a kinship with cats, and this seemed like the logical next step in her journey. Without hesitation, she purchased a full-body feline suit, complete with ears, a tail, and whiskers. From that day forward, Lisa was no longer just Lisa, she was Whiskerina, the queen of the cats. She embraced her new identity with unbridled enthusiasm. She prowled through Tesco in her feline attire, flicking her tail at passersby and purring as she selected cans of tuna. When strangers approached, she would gently bump her head against them in greeting, or if they displeased her, hiss in warning. At first, people tolerated it. After all, Lisa had always been eccentric. But things took a turn for the worse when she began to take the role too seriously. Children on their way to school reported being hissed at from alleyways. Delivery drivers claimed she would rub against their legs before sprinting into her house. Men who walked too close to her found themselves the unfortunate targets of an act far too horrifying to mention in polite company. Lisa had started to mark her territory. One by one, visitors stopped coming. The tea went cold, the biscuits stale. Lisa didn't mind. She had her cats, and that was all she needed. But then, one day, Lisa vanished. The town, small and close-knit, noticed quickly. The usual daily sightings of Whiskerina lurking near the bins or stretching in the park had ceased. Days turned into weeks, and still, there was no sign of her. Concerned whispers filled the local pub. Had she finally become one with her feline kin? Had she wandered too far and been picked up by animal control? Eventually, a brave villager named Gerald, a fisherman who lived by the river, decided to investigate. He marched up to Lisa's house and knocked on the door. No answer. He knocked again. Silence. Realizing that drastic measures were needed, he did what any self-respecting Brit would do in such a crisis. He took a strong step back, gathered all his strength, and lifted up the doormat. As expected, the key was there. He opened the door, bracing himself for the sight of scattered cat food and shredded furniture. But nothing could have prepared him for what he saw. The house was eerily quiet. The air smelled of stale fish and something far worse. And there, among overturned bowls and scattered litter, lay Lisa, or what was left of her. It seemed she had slipped on some spilled cat food, and in the days that followed, her beloved feline companions had done what nature had programmed them to do. The townspeople were horrified. Lisa, the cat lady, had become the ultimate offering to the creatures she loved most. But that wasn't the end of her story. To this day, on dark winter nights, some say you can still hear the faint sound of hissing near Lisa's old home. Others claim they can catch a whiff of something foul in the air. But most agree Lisa had always wanted to be a cat. And in the end, she got her wish.